But let's talk about the other wide release in theaters this weekend. It was Easter Sunday, directed by Jay Chandrasekhar, and it's starring Jo Koy, notably. A movie about a man returning home for an Easter celebration with his Filipino-American family. I didn't get around to catching this one, but Art, I know you had some time for it. What did you think about Jo Koy's big screen adventure?
If you're a fan of his stand-up, this is all of his stand-up bits in a blender put into a script form. Recently, I went back and I watched all of the stuff that he has out on streaming, every single stand-up that I possibly could. Because I know that this guy's huge, dude. Like, he is massive in terms of coming in and selling out every time he's doing one of his tours. I have a bunch of friends who are, like, obsessed with this dude. And I think he speaks to just, like, those cultural nuances that I think a lot of comedians are able to thrive on. When you search him up, you're going to get Fluffy. You're going to get Gabriel Iglesias. You're going to get someone like just comedians who know how to, like, make fun of the familiar things that we have going on. This movie is every joke that he's ever done. just stuffed into one thing.
How smooth is that, though? Because I think, we've seen, whether it's TV or movies, there's lots of times where people will try to capture the magic of somebody who has, like, a big stand-up act and then package it. And then, like, sometimes that gets you, a Seinfeld or something like that. And then sometimes it comes out and it's like that short, like, what, I don't know, the short-lived Whitney show that was terrible or something like that. Like, do you feel like they are trying too hard to fit his stand-up routine into a movie, or does it feel actually natural here?
So the movie's called Easter Sunday, and I didn't think he was going to give the message, Zach. He finds a way to go to church, and he ends up with a mic and does a whole stand-up special. Like, the movie will find ways for him to do a bit. And again, is that forced? You could be the biggest fan of him. You cannot deny he finds a way to grab a mic and just starts doing things. It is a movie where he is a struggling actor trying to make it, but he has like 30,000 lying around to give it to every other family member. So it's like he's playing old Jo Koy on the come up, but with the present rich Jo Koy problems. And I found that to be a little funny and goofy. But again, there are moments where the jokes don't work because it's definitely a stand-up routine. And then there are moments where he took something, like one of his bits in his stand-up is that it is embarrassing to go to school when you're young when they pack your lunch because they're not packing it in a lunchbox. It's going to be a Cool Whip container. And the best version of that joke in this movie is just walking into his mom's house and she's packing leftovers. You don't have to push in on it. It's just a funny little visual gag. Other times they are very much look at me gags. I'm going to go and do this whole bit. It's a movie where every character is telling him, come on, Joe, you got to talk to the people. Dad, I know you're not there for me, but as long as you show up, I think the teacher will like you speaking. It all revolves around him to the degree of him making up for his cousin's debt that he needs to kind of like cover up for. And every single moment that he's doing something, he's also struggling with getting the actual role back home. All the while, he has his agent, who is also the director of this movie. I'm going to pull him up here. Some of you may know him from a little movie called Super Troopers. So I think he's really funny in Super Troopers. I know that he's directed a couple of other stuff as well.
He's not the best director.
No. That's why I'm bringing this up. He directs himself as just doing like the same bit that the manager does of always having to hang up throughout the film. But it's kind of giving you if you look at these movies right here, this is as high as the quality of the direction. That's the vibe of the movie.
I like Super Troopers.
I like Super Troopers too. That would be that'd be the epitome of what he's done. Overall, I think the movie's okay. If you're a fan of his stand-up, again, you're going to get an amalgamation of all those jokes up there. But it's very much the vehicle of I am Jo Koy. Look at me. I made it. So shout out for that. Shout out to Manny Pacquiao. Plays a big part in the movie. There's also a nice little cameo that happens in the film where I didn't know he was Filipino, and that's like a huge part of this cameo's appearance. So, hey, for the Jo Koy fans, I hope you guys supported it out there because there was one dude who went to the fan event to see it. But that was because they turned it into a Fathom event and you couldn't get it covered by A-List. But Easter Sunday, out in theaters. And yeah, should be interesting.